Hey guys, good morning, good morning. Welcome to another live stream. Like always, my name's Jose Najarro, stock market investor, and I live stream here on YouTube every Monday to Friday around 9 to 10 o'clock Eastern time. So guys, feel free to post on the comments whatever stocks you guys want to take a look at. And that's what we're going to do today, right? We're going to take a look at stocks you guys want to look at. So feel free to post in the comments. So hopefully, hold on. Are things working out right now? Let me just make sure. I'm not sure if I have some technical difficulties at the moment, but if you guys can see me, I definitely would appreciate. Right, stream health seems to be excellent. So let's see what's going on for. Let's take a look at what's happening in the market today. Like always, let's take a look at the overall earnings today. I don't think there's anything too exciting happening today. Right, it just. What's going on, David? How's it going? Hope you're having a good day. Let's see. Let's take a quick look at earnings whisper. Let's see if we have any good earnings today. I don't think so. And then let's take a look at some news. Right, so I mean, normally Friday tends to be super slow, and today is no difference. I mean, if you are in John Deere, maybe you might be super excited. Aren't they in ARK's ETF, the space ETF? So maybe if you're if you're worried about space, and that was pretty cool. So far so good, and so glad it's Friday. I agree, Becker, right? I'm happy it's Friday. I might see a friend today who I haven't seen for some time, so it's pretty cool. One of my best friends. We've kind of since this whole I don't think I've seen him since this whole COVID situation. So hopefully that goes well today, and we get to hang out for some time. So I'm pretty excited for Friday and the weekend, right? You have any plans for the weekend, David? So right now, what do we have? We have anything trending. Nothing that really catches my attention. I think I might have heard of Yala before. I might have even looked at it in an episode or two. I might have done an episode or two, but nothing. Oh, winery with friends. That's pretty cool, Becker. That actually sounds like a lot of fun. Are you? Is the weather good by where you're at, David? Uh, we can see, right? Not many stocks I follow are trending. One I actually want to take a look at is Oatly. I think I might do a video on them later today. But this is a recent IPO, right? It's the milk one, right? So I think that was too funny. The overall markets that they're hitting. Next, if let's take a quick look at what are some of the stocks making the biggest moves in pre-market. Again, nothing pretty interesting. VF. I'm in North Carolina. Nice area. And Swarm and Gorgeous. That's pretty great, Becker. East Coast. Vincent, AMD or you both seem like they have ways to grow. Agree, Vincent. Both of them I do enjoy. I like both of them. I don't know if I would categorize. I would put them in. I don't know how I would put them. Right. So Unity for me right now, Vincent, is definitely a tier 1 stock. I just already am in like kind of the semiconductor industry with Nvidia. So, but AMD I do believe is super strong. I like both of them. Even at current prices, they're super attractive, right? I mean, I've done an episode on I think both of them, Vincent. But I do agree, right? If we take a look, let's take a look at AMD stock. I'm happy they did that recent buyback acquisition. Share buyback. I think it was a pretty bullish move on the company. And normally I'm not a fan of buybacks because I rather the company use its money for other stuff to continue to grow. But because AMD is still doing that, right? AMD is still using a lot of money on research and development. They're just doing that all cash acquisition of Xilinx. They're still working on improving their technology. So even after doing all that, they decided to buy back their shares. That's why I think it's so bullish. Normally, I don't think buybacks are super bullish. Especially if a company is not improving their products elsewhere, but because AMD is doing all that plus the buyback, that to me is super impressive. David Becker, one that is interesting to me that I am in and have had for a while was EVRI. Seems yesterday, let's see, I think you posted it on the Discord channel, right? Right, David? EVRI stock. Is this the right one? Jose Monk, hey, bought Gravity NSE yesterday. I think the sell-off in growth stock is over, even if it's not. Growth has good value right now. Monk, I couldn't agree with you, right? I mean, we've had a few great days for sure on growth stocks. I mean, look at me, wearing my green shirt. I got my green light on the back. I'm super excited about growth stocks. But at any time, I definitely can change this color back to red. Right? I do hope it's over, but at the end of the day, I have no crystal ball, so but I'm hoping it's over, right? But just like anything, the market can turn around as quick as it just turned around, right? But I do agree. I'm still investing in growth stocks, and I haven't really changed my thoughts even with the sell-off. Vincent, which tier 1 stocks of yours do you like the most, and what's the buy point if we see a dip? So I do think my favorite tier 1 stock, Vincent, is Nvidia. Nvidia is probably my favorite company overall. If there was one company I would own for the next 10 years, and I want to say let's say if I had to lock out my account for 10 years and only could invest in one company, and no ETFs, I think it would be Nvidia. That's how bullish I am in that company. At the same time, right now in my portfolio, I think it makes up about 8% of my. Nice, it is up pre-market 4%. What is happening with Nvidia? Are just all stocks up that big? Let's take a quick look at AMD. No, something's happening with Nvidia. 4% right now. I didn't release a video, so I know it wasn't me. I know they just recently announced something about their overall GPUs not being as effective in the Bitcoin world. Not sure. I don't think that would have this 4% up. There's something happening right now that we don't know about. And I want to get behind it. I want to learn a little bit more about it. So let me change real quick my screens. I just want to get into my broker. I don't think you guys should. Let me see. Make sure you guys shouldn't be able to see my screen right now. I just want to get on my broker. Usually the brokers is probably the easiest or the best place to find recent news. And I'm obviously Nvidia is a tier 1 for me, so I want to make sure why the stock is up 4% right now. If there's anything happening, Nvidia, I see. They just announced a 4-to-1 stock split. So Nvidia announces a 4-to-1 stock. I mean, that's actually I don't understand why the stock would go up for that, right? Things like that have been pretty. I've always found pretty funny. I don't think I'm showing any numbers. Let me just close. I think. Yep. All right. So let's see. Nvidia announces a 4-to-1 stock split pending stockholder approval at annual meeting. This is actually, I mean, I think it's pretty cool to some extent. Good morning, Fizz. Did you see, Fizz, that Nvidia is up 4% after announcing a 4-to-1 stock split? If it's up 1% for each stock split, they should have done like a 10-to-1 stock split. Then they would have been up 10%. But I do think this is actually pretty cool, especially if you have a nice positions of Nvidia. One thing that I want to say stock split helps out is maybe you might be one of those investors that sell options sell cover options to kind of make money out of your investments. So by having splits like this, it helps people do more of that. I personally don't do it because I believe Nvidia can run out of nowhere in any news. So I wouldn't do that, but I could see why certain investors might be excited about this. This is I'm pretty happy. I don't think it's news for it. I don't think this is news for it to go up 4%. But it is pretty interesting for sure, and I think this is what I might just do a video on later today. Hopefully you guys are seeing stocks. So it's up 4%. So Vincent, you said which tier 1 stocks of yours? Like I said, Nvidia at buy points if we see a dip. Nvidia, I mean, I think in all honesty, Vincent, I think this is a company heading to $1 trillion market cap. Because of that reason, I don't mind buying Nvidia at any points. If we're really looking for anything attractive, I think below the like anything around the 500 levels. And Con, I think I just answered that right. In 5 years, in 5 years, I don't know. In 5 to 10 years, I can see this being $1 trillion market cap. I can still see in 3xing from where it's at right now. Again, I'm not a financial advisor, but just because of I feel I'm super bullish because of my education, right? I've done a few degrees in electrical engineering. I really understand the semiconductor industry. I've worked in like very, I want to say, innovative and tech heavy companies, and I can definitely see the technology that is needed by Nvidia to continue to improve those technologies, right? So that's why I'm so bullish in this company. Just the overall growth into different markets. So in 5 to 10 years, I can definitely see it as a $1 trillion company. Again, I'm no expert, no financial advisor. So these are just my opinions. Celti, what do you think of Baba? So Baba, I mean, I was looking. I was just looking. One thing I do like about Baba is their overall chart metrics, right? If we take a quick look at Baba, let's take a look at. I don't want to take a look at Square. Let's take a look at forward, at PE ratios, right? I think. Let's take a look at EV to EBITDA forward. So one thing I really do like about Baba is their overall metrics, their valuations, right? Celti, 17.67 right now, and it's pretty low, right? These are levels seen in, this is January, this is the crash of 2020 of overall COVID, right? So these are levels kind of seen around that time. So Celti, I do think Baba, I don't have it in my portfolio, but I feel in forms of metrics and valuations, it's screaming that it's a bit undervalued. The other thing though, right, I feel like in the past recent 12 months, you've seen a little bit heavier kind of hand from the Chinese government on some of their big companies. So I do believe that's one of the reasons the stock price has taken a bit of a hit on valuations. So investors are kind of worrying about that, and you can see that in the form of metrics. But if you are an investors that really don't think much of that, right now it might look super attractive. But I'd sell to you right now, I think I'm pretty exposed to the Chinese market with Tencent, with Huya, and maybe some other place that I forget, JD, PDD. So I have no intentions in buying, but I can see why investors would be excited about Baba for sure. Biz, I agree, right? Fizz, I agree. Gravity is up, right? That one has been killing it. Unfortunately, it's one that I had on my mind to add, but never did, right? I was looking at other plays instead. I felt a little too exposed in the overall gaming market still, so I wanted to expose my growth somewhere else. Main reason I didn't add on to Gravity, right? I don't know if you guys watched that video where I talk about looking at your overall exposure, looking at overall how your portfolio is doing. And that's how I determine what companies to really focus on. So there was a few markets that I felt my portfolio was lacking on that I was bullish on. So that's where I invested. If not, I think Gravity would have been a great play when it was down. So Dennis, what do you think of Coinbase? So Coinbase, right? I mean, Coinbase is one of those stocks that is gonna do good as long as the overall cryptocurrency market is very popular. And after that huge rundown that we saw a few days ago, I think it's still continuing to be popular, right? Things like that. It's things like that. It was everywhere on the news, right? Crypto's down, crypto's down, crypto's down. So it kind of refreshed everybody about that market. So I do believe it brought the popularity. I do think Coin is going to have a very strong quarter. One thing I do worry about Coinbase, Dennis, is they mentioned it in their earnings report. I did do a video on Coinbase recently. So check out my previous. And guys, while you're here, make sure to hit the thumbs up. It really does help. If I'm providing some form of value, again, I'm not asking for monetary value, not just that thumbs up. It really does help with the channel. But anyways, so like I was saying, Dennis, one thing I did do a video on them recently. One thing I didn't like about Coinbase or I want to say the biggest risk, they actually mentioned it themselves in the earnings, and it was the overall competition, right? There's so much competition out there. Some of their competition also does a lot of popular coins that Coinbase doesn't do, and it might drive users outside of Coinbase to kind of follow those coins that are not traded in Coinbase. So I do believe right now the competition is a huge player, but this is a company with a lot of great margins on cash flow from operations and very strong earnings. So that is pretty impressive for this company. Yeah, the Bitcoin volume was massive this week. And I'm pretty sure, right? It kind of refreshed everybody again. They're like, oh man, now it's down again. Let me buy some more, right? Because Bitcoin how much has it gone up to after that drop? I remember yesterday it was around the 40s level again, and it's still there. It's still around there, right? You can see in the past 5 days it's been pretty crazy, but it's really sitting at that 40 levels. Daniel. So Daniel, hold on. Let's see. What else did I miss? And guys, feel free to post again if I might have missed a question. Khan, what do you think about the cloud companies like Cloudflare, Net, and Snow? So cloud, right? So the cloud market, mainly the software market, are markets. I want to say the markets I really understand outside of those simple ones like Spotify, like Facebook. The ones that are very tech heavy that I understand are, I want to say, the semiconductor industry. Thanks to experience from work. I've also have some experience in the software and cloud world, but nowhere near to the extent of semiconductors. So cloud companies I enjoy, but because I don't know that market too well, it does limit how much of my exposures go into certain companies. And sometimes I don't go heavy in one position. I go smaller in multiple cloud positions, and that's how I'm gonna play a lot of cloud companies. Cloudflare Net, right, we see is the leader in that overall CDN market for sure. Snow is not one I follow too much. I know a lot of big investors are big in it. I like to do like more. I like a lot of cloud companies that provide some strong services. For example, CrowdStrike. I believe CrowdStrike is. I don't know if you would consider that one, but I prefer more companies that provide form of services over a long run. So I gotta look at my portfolio, which ones I'm pretty excited about right now. But I mean, if you want to take a look at kind of one of them, feel free. I do believe a great tip is whenever you're investing in a company or investing in a market, it's a market. If you want to go heavy, you have to make sure you understand that market. Like I know I really understand the semiconductor market. I really understand the gaming market. I really understand like the easy companies to understand, like Spotify, like Facebook. Those are the ones that are easy to understand. So those are the ones I'm very heavy on, right? Nvidia, Unity. Those are my Nvidia, Unity, and AMD are probably my biggest positions. Those three make up more than a quarter of my portfolio, I would say, or roughly a quarter of my portfolio. So three stocks make up 25% of my portfolio. That's because one, I understand the technologies. Two, I understand the markets they're gonna grow. They're in. So I believe every investors, that's what you should really focus on. The companies you really understand. JR, do you day trade? No, I do not day trade, JR. Not that I think day trading is bad. I definitely wouldn't recommend it for beginners. If you are just starting off in the market, day trading, you're most likely gonna lose money. The only reason I don't day trade is just doesn't excite me, right? I can't really picture myself sitting on the TV on my screen just watching charts, looking at minute trades, or doing any types of trades, right? So I don't day trade. Just not my style. I know there's plenty of day traders out there that make money, but there's, remember, a lot more day traders losing lots of money at the moment. Sander, what was going on? Hey, Jose, what do you think of Tattoo Chef? Is it time to get a short squeeze? Check the short interest and average days to cover. I'm very curious about your opinions. So Sander, right, I am in Tattoo Chef, right? TTCF is done. I think it's doing pretty smart moves. They just recently made that acquisition, right, of the acquisition of the New Mexico Foods, which is what they called it, right? So overall, Tattoo Chef, I am liking it for long-term investments. Stuff like that, like short squeezes, those aren't really things. That's more of a trading thing, in my opinion, a form of trading strategy. I don't really follow it, and I personally, again, it doesn't mean it's bad, but I personally don't really care about short interest. As long as the company's doing strong, as long as I believe in the market and stuff like that, I don't mind owning it. And Tattoo Chef is one of it. Um, but it short interest was short interest pretty high for it. Sanders right now, right? We can see it does seem the past few days we've had really strong, right? 5 days the stock is up about 17%. So it could be scaring a lot. It could there could be a possibility of that short squeeze, right? Let's see. Right now, pre-markets the stocks are up 1.1%. Pretty exciting, right? Overall, the market is looking it's looking pretty good for growth stocks. I think today, just in case, I might eat some Lucky Charms to kind of boost up. I'm really excited, pumped up for the day right now. We have Nvidia, my tier 1 stock, is up about 3.4% after announcing a stock split. So guys, feel free to post in the comments if there's any stocks you guys want me to take a look at. Let's see, is there any big news happening right now? Nothing that I can see. Amazon is shutting down its Prime Now fast delivery app. Not sure what that is. U.S. Treasury calls for stricter cryptocurrency compliances with IRS, says the post-tax evasion risk. They pose tax evasion risk. True. 5 things to know before the market opens. Fizz, yes, let's Upstart. All right, JR, JR or Junior? Hopefully you don't mind if I say I think I like JR better. Stock set for after halting for more gains after halting 3-day losing streak. Bitcoin hovers about 40%. U.S. proposes global minimum corporate tax rate. Apple CEO Tim to testify. Oh wow, this is actually moving. This is actually moving pretty fast. I didn't think it was. The overall Epic Games versus Apple, right? This case is really moving. I thought it was gonna take a lot longer, didn't it? So he is going to talk. Epic claims Apple Store has morphed into a price gouging vehicle, reaping 15 to 30% commissions from in-app transactions and blocking apps from offering other payments alternatives. I do believe, right, if this somehow affects, if they have to drop those prices, it'll be pretty scary, right, for something like that to happen. But I do believe it would affect the stock price a lot, especially because right now Apple does make a good amount of money from their overall Apple Store transactions, right? What else do we have? Tesla rises prices for 5th time in the last few months. The model went up $500, starting now at $39,490, and blah blah blah. Wow. So JR, let's take a quick look at Upstart. Let's go to Simply Wall Street. Let's take a look at some charts. Markets should be opening up pretty soon. So we can see, let's keep that green day. We have 7 minutes. Let's look at charts too. Halo, what's going on? Hold skills till next year. Hold skills for longer than next year, man. Next year, what are you, a short-term investor? Long-terms all day, more than a year. Rizviz, a fund in the United States bought more than 1% ownership of Gravity, which is pretty uncommon. That's pretty crazy, Fizz. Did they mention who was the name of it? Who was the fund? Stock Basics. Hi, Jose. Why do you think Corsair is so undervalued? Forward PE of 16. I think right now, Stock Basics, the only thing I would think about Corsair, right, is first the competition, right? There's a lot of competition to some extent within Logitech, within Turtle Beach. They all kind of hit with some other companies out there, right, in the overall industry. The other thing is the products they really do hit, even though they are nice. I don't think many investors ever get really excited about hardware products, right? I mean, how excited can you be about a keyboard? And at the end of the day, how safe, how much of a moat do you really have in that market, Stock Basics, right? So I do think that's one of the major reasons for the company being undervalued. Another reason is just it isn't a recent IPO. It is one that many consider a growth stock, so it has taken a bit of a hit. The third reason I want to say is people, I guess, are fearful that now as things are opening back up, right, a good reason for their strong revenues was a lot of new content creators because they were working from home, a lot new keyboard users as people, again, were working from home. So as people go back to work, as things opening back up, the overall need for some of these hardwares is going to decrease. So I think that's probably, those are three reasons why I feel this company is a bit undervalued. I still enjoy them, right? We can take a quick look at Corsair's valuation in a bit, stock basic, but I do want to say those are probably the three main reasons. Jose, what do you think about the BTC bubble? Khan, I don't know if it's a bubble, right? I don't. I think bubbles can only be told once the bubble pops, right? Do you think it's going to fall out like Tulip bubble in Holland a long time ago? Apparently, majority of BTC is being bought with. Khan, like I said, I don't really follow the crypto market, so I wouldn't know. I mean, that's definitely not a topic I hit. Um, so I just, my opinions, I mean, trends happen, things go up, things go down, just volatility in the market. That's what every single market I've seen, from stocks, crypto, forex, every other options, all type of markets have a huge up and then a huge down. And I think it's just the way markets work. This tweet has info about a pretty small fund with 600 million under management. The fund is into smaller cap tech companies. They also own Skills. Pretty cool. Yeah, Skills. It seems like they're focusing, both. I think both Skills and Gravity have one major thing in common: mobile gaming growth. And I do believe that's where a lot of that growth is going to come for both those companies. The creator of Ethereum called it a bubble. That's crazy, right? So I mean, that's the thing, right? Fizz, maybe those are the people you want to listen to some extent, right? Those are people with some kind of knowledge in it, not me, who has no knowledge in that market. And guys, remember, make sure to hit that thumbs up on the on YouTube. It really does help a lot with the overall algorithm, and it's a strong way to support the channel. So wait, what was the stock we were going to take a look at? JR, are you still here, JR? Let me see. Do I have Simply Wall Street? Yep, we have Upstart. So Upstart, I'm pretty sure it's in the fintech company, right? They do, yes, they do cloud-based artificial lending platform. This is a small market cap of $10.7 billion. So these are the companies I like to look at, right? Companies between, I think, zero to between within the millions to 100 million, I want to say, is probably my smallest, to, I want to say, 20-30 billion dollars are the ones I believe can do really great returns in the future, right? Normally those are those small to mid caps are the ones that do provide strong returns. Future growth, this company is expected to grow 34.2% on average for the next 3 to 5 years. This is a nice hyper growth stock. They are profitable. They are kind of breaking even right now on earnings. It said earnings in trailing 12. No, actually, right. My apologies. Trailing 12 months, they are barely profitable, but they are profitable, and they are positive in cash flow from operations, right? So fundamentally, they're looking pretty good. I'm really liking them, right? They have strong future growth, they have positive earnings, they have positive cash flow from operations. Now, something I would really enjoy is if they did have a strong balance sheet, and it does seem like they do, right? They have about $257 million in cash, and they have about $41 million in debt. So fundamentally, right, I forgot who asked. JR, Upstart is looking pretty good. Again, I'm just looking at their fundamentals. Let's take a quick look at their charts. But I do believe it's still important to take a look at what the actual market they're hitting and see if it's a market you're bullish on. So the company right now, if we're taking a look at it, I want to say it is a bit overextended. Because it's a bit overextended, to me, it doesn't prevent me from buying, but it just prevents me from buying a big amount. You can see from its, even from its short moving average, the stock price is a bit overextended. This is what tends to happen. It doesn't mean it always happens. When it's a bit overextended, eventually it starts to pull back to its averages. Again, it doesn't always happen. It's not a guaranteed, but I believe the risk is higher when a stock is overextended. So if I do decide to buy in, let's say I really like Upstart's market, at this price is something I would enter with a small position to, again, just control my risk, but at the same time still get some skin in the game. So JR, I hope that helped out a lot. Maria, thank you, Jose. No problem. I don't know what I did, but no problem, and I appreciate. Thanks for the comment. It really does help with the channel. Let's see, what else do we have? Dennis, you want to take a look at Verizon? I mean, it's pretty cool. I already know. Jose, what do you like about Unity the most? Vincent, what I like about Unity the most is their overall movement to real-time 3D, to 3D real-time simulations, right? And the Fizz, no problem, no problem, man. Appreciate being appreciated by you, Fizz. So Vincent, I do believe their move to 3D real-time simulation is a great move because it opens up the market to more than just gaming, right? Real-time 3D is what you're needed for AR, is what's needed and that form of 3D real-time is used for everything from simulations tests, and simulations can be done for things outside of gaming, for industrial market, the medical world, the machine learning, artificial intelligence, automations, and robotics. So I do believe that whole movement to that market is my biggest play for Unity. Another thing, my second thing is a good portion of mobile games right now, and some of the most popular games are made through Unity. So that I would say is my second thing. I do want to say though, right now the company is not profitable. I don't think they're even positive in cash flow from operations. So they do come with a bit of risk to some extent. Yeah, they're definitely not positive, and they're not profitable in cash flow from operations. So normally this is something I would consider a speculative play, right? I mean, I normally talk about stuff like this being a speculative play, but I'm just so excited about this, about Unity, right? Definitely excited. What's going on? I'm definitely a crypto skeptic, but nobody can deny the amazing returns it's created for investors. Agree, Fizz, right? And that's the great thing about the market, right? Sometimes you might not agree with investment styles, but at the end of the day, you can make money with an investment style that you don't agree with. So you don't have to follow, you don't have to enjoy, and that's the thing, right? You don't have to find every winner either, right? Some people can screw the stock market and go into crypto, do amazing. Some people can script the crypto and go into stocks and still do amazing returns. Ed, yes, Nvidia 4-to-1 stock split. The stock is liking it. Ed, right? It's up. Last time I checked, it was up about 3%. Let's see if that continues. And the market is open, guys. Let's take a quick look at my stocks. And Khan, we're gonna take a look at Teledoc for you for sure. TDOC, right? And then, but Dennis, we're gonna take a look at Verizon as well. But let me just look at the overall market. What's going on for me right now? So right now, I'm a bit down on C is down about 0.0%, barely down. So I don't think anything's truly down. Tattoo Chef is a bit down, about 0.1%. Skills is down 1.2%. Neo is down 1.2%. Tencent is down about 2%. It seems most of my ones that are down are either international. Actually, they're mainly more international markets. Let's see, what do we have big? We have Space is still strong. It's having a 4.5% day right now. We have Nvidia killing it right now, kind of losing its gains though. It's down. It's still up 3% though. Celsius is also up 3%. Okta is up 3%. Gravity up 3%. About 2.6. Crowd up 2.4. So overall, growth stocks seem to be doing pretty good. Ed agrees. C had a monster day after those analysts saw my video and then updated the price targets. I mean, it's the only reason. I mean, do you guys think it can't be a coincidence? I drop a strong SE video. The next day, we have analysts increasing stock price. I just don't think it's a coincidence. And guys, make sure to hit that thumbs up like always. GHVI up quite a bit too. Fizz, oh man, that's one I was looking into. Again, unfortunately, I don't have unlimited funds, so I couldn't. I can't get into it right now. But this is one that's definitely looking pretty good. And if there was a SPAC I wouldn't mind entering, would be one of those. So let's see, what else do we have? Dennis, are you still here? If you're still here, we can take a look at Verizon for you. If not, we'll move on to the next one. But let's see, what else do we have? Do we have any? You know, it's crazy. Dow rises 200 points as Wall Street rebounds for a second day. It's only been 2 days of green. I feel like we've had weeks of green days already. I'm like, man, we're in the greatest bull market of all time. But has it only been like 2 days? And it's crazy, right? How just a few, and this is one thing I do mention, right? I kind of mentioned it in another video. Sometimes having a few green days makes us forget about the horrible month or red days that we've had. And sometimes I do believe that's a bit dangerous, right? Because sometimes those red days kind of remind us about risk tolerance and that we have to make sure we're not overexposed or anything like that. But then when we have 2 or 3 consecutive days, we forget about that risk tolerance. And I want to say that's a horrible thing, because then what ends up happening is, if the stock price, if stocks go down again, we're gonna regret not listening to our risk tolerance, or our or how we were probably too heavily exposed. Um, so if you, I mean, obviously, let's enjoy the green days, but let's not forget those red days that were literally a few days behind us. So let's see what else. Anything? Yeah, I mean, let's hope. I'm hoping the day stays like it is today. I hope the weekend ends good. We have Unity finally up over $1.21. So Dennis, I don't think you're here, but let's, just in case, maybe you didn't want to respond to me. Let's take a quick look at Verizon. Verizon, I can already tell, it's not one I would personally put in my portfolio. Market cap of $235 billion, right? Super big already. And the growth behind it, 1.6% on average for the next 3 to 5 years. This is more a company where maybe you are too growth heavy and you want to change it up a bit, right? You want to maybe put a little bit of more valuation into your play. This is a company that's profitable, has historical profitability. It has positive cash flow from operations. So because of that, you're not expecting much growth. The other thing this provides is a super, super tasty current dividend yield, right, of 4.4%. So this is a reason to invest in Verizon, right? I do believe this is the main reason. Main reason people invested in AT&T, right? Right, the dividends, right? But what happened recently? AT&T, I think, was it AT&T? I forget. It was some big cellular company that just cut their dividend in half. So that's always a risk. So for me, investing in companies for just dividend yields, it's not my play style. It doesn't mean it's a bad play style. I'm pretty sure there's plenty of investors that do it. Plenty of investors that enjoy that dividend. I'm just not one of them. So this is one of those dividend plays where you don't want to focus on growth. And again, it's not a bad, I don't think it's a bad play. Another thing I don't really like about, mainly, I mean, this company is profitable. But look, $10 billion in cash compared to $158 billion in debt. This is very, very leveraged, right? Very, very leveraged. I understand why it's leveraged. I'm guessing towers, I'm guessing all the equipment that they have is very, very expensive. So I guess that's why they're so debt leveraged. Me personally, I wouldn't enjoy that. I wouldn't invest. Most big companies that I owned are, my biggest market caps are, for example, Nvidia, Microsoft, Facebook. What else do I own? What are the big players? And all those big players, even though they are profitable, even though they have a very strong fundamentals of positive cash flow from operations, they are nowhere near leverage like this. And that's what I would want to find, right? Companies that are not heavily leveraged. Again, they have strong fundamentals to be able to cover this type of debt, but to me, it's way too high for my taste. David Becker, yes, it was AT&T, right, that cut dividend. Right, and I mean, this is valuation. I don't follow it, but I'm pretty sure this is based on discounted cash flow rates. They believe that this company is pretty undervalued at the moment. Yeah, Fizz, right? I get that nice Nvidia dividend. That's what I'm about. And that Tencent dividend, right? I forgot who mentioned it to me. The Tencent also has a dividend, and I didn't even know existed. I think my biggest dividend play might be Activision or Microsoft. That's insane, right, Ed? So yes, I mean, I think those are good plays, right? Especially if, I think when market corrections happen, you have great entries all around. One of the great entries are companies with strong dividend yields. So and I agree, right? Bought Verizon when PE was under 10. That's pretty much free money. What is the PE? What's their? Just out of curiosity, what kind of E do they have now? And guys, feel free to post. Yeah, so nice. That's insane. But I mean, Verizon overall, I think it hasn't really been affected. This is what you get from a company like this. You get kind of emotional stability, not much volatility. Year to date, the stock is down about 2.7%, but ask me how my growth stocks are down. They're down about 30-40%, right? So overall, this is it, every investor has to understand how their emotional tolerance and what they're looking for in a stock, right? Um So what else? What else? Do we have another stock that we want to take a look at? If not, let me take a quick look at the overall. Let me take a quick look at the overall charts. Let's see, what else do we have here? I mean, things are turning a little bit around. I wish I wouldn't have re-looked at the charts. Everything is pulling back down. Wah, wah, wah. Time to change colors. All right. So yeah, I mean, things are going back. It's still everything is still looking okay. I mean, half green, half red for me. Let's take a look at Finviz. How is the overall? You were Fizz. I was too late for the Lucky Charms. I was. Time to go change shirts and everything. Right. Nasdaq is pulling back down. I mean, Dow seems to be continuing. It's just okay, Con. You're still here, so we'll take a look at Teledoc, and then we'll take a look at JR. He wants to take a look at VIC. So let's take a look at Teledoc. So T-Doc, right? First, what are we gonna see? Teledoc, come on. So this is $21 billion market cap, right? In the telemedicine world. Future growth. This company is expected to grow its revenues 24.1%, right, Con? So this is a nice growth stock. The company is not profitable right now, and they're not positive in cash flow from operations. So those are things that I would put in the back of my mind, right? Hey, right now they're not profitable, they're not positive, but they are expected to be positive in cash flow. And this is looking at trailing 12 months, right? When I'm taking a look at this is trailing 12 months. When taking a look at, they are expected to be at least positive in cash flow within the next 12 months. So that's actually super cool. But remember, those are two things I would put in my mind. I want them to have a very strong balance sheet, and it does seem in form of cash to debt. They have about $722 million in cash, about $1.4 billion in debt. So right now they are a bit leveraged. Not a huge fan of that, especially since they're not profitable, especially since they're not positive in cash flow from operations. But I do believe a good portion of this debt is coming from that recent acquisition that they did of, what was it called? I forget what was the acquisition called. Thinking. Livongo? Was that it? Livongo, I believe. So because of that acquisition, I do believe it built up a good portion of their debt. What else can we see? So overall fundamentals are okay. The biggest thing for them is the overall market. If you're bullish in telemedicine, this is probably one of the leaders there, and you're also seeing strong growth. But remember, fundamentals, they could be a bit better. If we take a quick look at the overall price action, what can we see? So price action, right? There was plenty of vol. I want to say where it's at right now. There's not much volume sitting under this 132, 130 price level. It is no longer overextended. Investors definitely did not like their most recent earnings, and since then it kind of broke out of support. Right now, if I was excited about the market, if I was excited about the company, I feel like now there is a downtrend, but a lot of the risk has been eliminated. Investors are kind of already expecting slow growth rate on some of their numbers. So I do believe after earnings, a lot of the risk has kind of been eliminated, especially when it's in the negative momentum. So overall, I do have a position in Teledoc. I just right now I'm not too excited about the telemedicine compared to some of the other markets. Main reason I'm not adding on I'm not adding on at the moment. So overall, I mean, I want to say this price point is definitely going to be pretty important for the company. Fizz, yesterday was a crazy good day. I think this is normal. We don't want too massive of a run up right away. Very true, Fizz. Very true. I agree with you. You make some good points there. Nvidia is still up about almost 3%, so it's okay. I'm happy. All right, so what else do we have? What other stocks do you guys want to take a look at? JR, you want to take a look at VIAC. Is that Viacom? That's the streaming, right? CBS. So Viacom, I forget what departments they own. So they own CBS Technologies. They own... I thought they owned some other place. What are the cable networks that they own? That's what I really wanted to take a look at. But anyways, Viacom right now. Let's take a quick look. right now the company's future growth, the company is expected slow grower, right? 2.4%. One thing you are getting with this is, again, profitability. You're getting positive in cash flow from operations. And because you're getting that, this has historically strong or positive earnings and positive cash flow. It's kind of already a mature company to some extent, so there's not much growth expected from it. If we take a look at their health financially, let's see, financially, they're a bit leveraged, right? $5.5 billion in debt, about $17.8 billion, $5.5 billion in cash, 17.8 in debt, right? So they are a bit leveraged. Now I remember, I do have a company that's heavily leveraged, and that's probably Disney. Disney's probably my biggest leverage company. But overall, I guess I'm just such a huge fan of Disney, their IP, Star Wars, and just the overall streaming services that they're doing, that I don't mind that the company is heavily leveraged. So as long as you have some form of conviction on the business, I think it can help you overlook some of these leverageness. Right now, right, we can see Viacom. The overall streaming service is growing, but I'd rather put my money elsewhere. But let's see, if I was bullish in the company, let's see the overall stock price right now. Taking a big hit, right? Definitely where it's at right now is a strong valuation. We can see, right? This is what I talk about, right? Normally, when things are overextended, there is a possibility, right? At this whole time, the stocks were overextended. So when things are overextended, they still keep going up. I just believe the risk of a pull down is a lot stronger. So for that reason, when things are overextended, I don't mind still entering because they can still going up. But I just limit my exposure of how much I enter for reasons like this. Right now, it's definitely sitting at attractive levels. It is trading at a strong volume area as well. So JR, again, this is a company I personally wouldn't invest in or wouldn't have in my portfolio. Again, not for negative reasons. I just think there's better fish out in the sea. I'm guessing this does pay a form of dividends too. Yeah, they do, right? 2.3% dividend as well. So again, what are you getting with this? This is different from my investment styles. I mainly focus on growth stocks, but this is probably more if you are looking for some form of dividend play. You're looking for a company that has been kind of stable to some extent in their business, profitable earnings, positive cash flow. Jose, have you heard of Shine? It's a Chinese company that's still private. People are calling it the TikTok of e-commerce, and it just overtook Amazon as the most downloaded shopping app in the US. Nah, let's see for the day. I mean, that's probably, that might be true for long term, but let's see. Let's see. Garena still grossing #1 Google Play here in the United States. Long C for real. I mean, if you're not long C, I don't know what you're doing in this market. Again, that's not advice, just my overall opinion. But let's take a look at e-commerce. Do they have commerce? Shopping is what it's called, right? What is it called? Oh my god. Shine right here. Shop? I don't know what Shop really does, but I keep seeing Shop being #1 too. Bullish on Shopify for that as well. Wish, I don't know how Wish is still up there, #5. Still doing pretty strong. And I think this website's so cool. I miss Big Buck. I do sometimes do night live streams just so I can see him again. But I think it was him who showed me this website, and it's pretty cool. We can see Shine is definitely #1 fizz. Haven't heard of it. I don't do much shopping nowadays, right? My overall goal is to just save money. So I don't even think I have Amazon application on my phone anymore. So I haven't really heard of it, but that's actually pretty cool. They are #1 here. Let's take a look at the iOS category, shopping. In iOS, also pretty cool. And also, you have Shop right there. You don't have not many iPhone users. She maybe I might ask her. So next, if it ever goes public, Fizz, I'm guessing it's entering your girlfriend's portfolio. And guys, feel free to post any other stocks. I think I might have looked at all the ones that you guys posted on the chat. But like I said, feel free to post. We can take a look at stocks. We still have some time in here. I think this will be a company to keep an eye on, though, for sure. You know what would be another thing to keep an eye out is who's working with them, right, Fizz? Maybe what, like, are they working with any platforms to integrate? Are they working with Shopify for integrations? Is Shopify gonna integrate them in their platform? Who are some of the advertisers they're working with? Or what kind of advertisement teams and stuff like that? I think stuff, even though the company is private, if we can learn things like that, can really help us. Hey, maybe these are some companies we should take a look at. So tell your girlfriend to do some research for us, you know. So let's see, what else do we have right now? Anything new? No longer it's no longer telling us that Dow is up. It's like fast fashion company. They're taking on Zara and H&M. Oh wow, that's pretty interesting. I might just download it just to look at the stock. What do we see right now? Things are okay, right? It seems like things are more green than red. Let's change things back up. It's looking pretty good. We still have Nvidia up. We have Unity up over $91 for sure. I do have strong. Again, these are old things. I don't really follow technicals. I just like drawing lines. OSS is also up, so things aren't looking too bad right now. Let's hope it stays like this. So is anybody planning on buying anything today? I actually have a pretty cool video coming up today. Today I already recorded it. I haven't posted it. I think it might be going up in the next 2 hours or so. I take a look at this company, Himax. I don't know if you guys have followed it. Himax Technology is a small semiconductor company. They're a company headquarters in Taiwan, but they do a lot of chips for sensors. Some of these sensors go into virtual reality and augmented reality products. Let me take a quick look at Himax. I think I even have, no, I don't have their presentation. I have, let me see. PDF. Adobe Reader. So they do, for example, they do a lot of chips and sensors for a lot of cool products. Right now, they do have a lot of products that enter into sensors that are used in augmented reality and virtual reality products, which I thought was pretty cool. Again, the video is going to come out in a few hours, but I do think it's pretty cool. They are growing their revenues at pretty impressive levels. Revenue growth was 67% year over year, and they're also seeing strong quarter-over-quarter growth. And we can see they're hitting the display drivers, a lot of sensors for face recognitions, and micro displays for things like VR, AR glasses, and stuff that go into holo displays for the future in the automobile industry. So I do believe this is one that you guys might enjoy. Super small market cap, $1.8 billion, but they are profitable. Look at that PE ratio right now. So I hope you guys, once the video comes out, make sure to hit the thumbs up on that video and really make sure to help out the channel. So Himax is a pretty cool. Definitely potential in this company. Fizz, you're back in the green on Gravity now. Really, Fizz? Nice. Really nice. Gravity stock price. Right now it's sitting at 134. So let's see, what else do we have? Tattoo Chef. I mean, how's TTCF doing? TTCF is up and down. You know, I was actually, there's usually not many food companies that I own. I actually don't own many, but I don't ever taste their products. And I was looking to my freezer, and we actually buy the cauliflower rice, and I didn't know when we bought it from Costco that it was Tattoo Chef, and I actually enjoy it a lot. So I thought it was so funny. I don't know why. I was like, hey, I was going through the freezer. I'm like, wait, I've seen these before. So when we purchased them from Costco, I honestly didn't think. I honestly didn't even look at where they were from. And after we were almost done with them, I figured out they were from Tattoo Chef. What's going on, Damien from Argentina? How's it going? Appreciate the support from around the world. It really means a lot. I think it's impressive. I think it's amazing that we're able to communicate with people all around the world and really just overall share my opinions and have people listening. you start so you've been in gravity in the whole roller coaster ride, right, Fizz, from 200 all the way down to 100. It's been a crazy ride for you. All right, guys, so if you guys don't want to take a look at any stocks, I'm calling it last. If you guys have one more stock you guys want to take a look at, let me know in the comments before I jet out. I have to go edit a video. And I gotta come out with a video. I'm pretty much, I think I'm gonna work on an Nvidia video. Fat Meadow, you are late. My goodness, Fat Meadow. I'm guessing class. I don't know what's the proper term. Perfect timing. Yes, Fat Meadow. Is there any stock, Fat Meadow, you want to take a look at? Or anything you want to mention? Actually, now Fat Meadow came in. Let's stay for a few more minutes. All right, never mind. Fizz is heading out. Everybody, I'm just gonna I'm playing with everybody's emotion right now. Everybody, guys, I am done if no one has a new stock. Everybody, take care. Have a great weekend, right? Enjoy the time with your bien. All right, never mind. Damien, because you just came in, I'm again gonna play with your emotions. Ben, do you know Mercado Libre? I think it's ticker Meli. Meli, yes, Mercado. Yes, Damien, I do know Meli. I have done plenty of videos on it, bien. I do believe and I actually just did one on their most recent earnings. So Damien, I think it's Damien, right? Yeah, Damien. Feel free to go to my channel. Go to my channel. Just go over here on the search tab and put Meli. I enjoy it. It is in my portfolio. It's a tier 2 stock. I actually did a video about it 1 week ago. About a week ago, I did Meli. You can just check out this video. It's 3 strong growth stocks down big, pretty much. So I talk about Silo, I talk about Meli there, and IPOE. So definitely recommend that video if you want to know my overall thoughts on it. It's a strong growth company. I see them improving crazy levels. So it is in my portfolio. And right now, I am pretty e-commerce heavy within everything I own. So main reason I didn't enter Meli during the dip is because I am pretty heavy in the e-commerce. But if I didn't have those other companies, I would have probably added onto Meli. So definitely check it out. So for real, guys, this time for real, have a good weekend. Enjoy time with your family. No point in staring at screens all day. The stock market will be back on Monday. So take care, guys, and let's have a good day.